It was 9:05 p.m. I get a text message from my credit card telling me that my HSBC card ending in, blah, 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 was just used for the amount of 5,000 pesos or $100. If this wasn't you, please call this number. And I was like, wait, my card is with me and I'm not doing any online transactions. So I looked at the number and I called immediately. Hey guys, I want to share with you my story from about last year during lockdown when my credit card got hacked and I had to go through a lot of obstacles just to clear it with my credit card, which is HSBC. Now the question is the credit card holder really responsible for these charges that he or she didn't make, or is the credit card company supposed to be the one liable and responsible? I don't know. Let me know your opinion. Comment below. And if you've also had a similar story about your credit card being hacked or being used by unauthorized users and having a hard time with the credit card company trying to reverse those charges, share a story with me. Comment below. This happened last year, June 16, 2020. Metro Manila, or most of Luzon, was under lockdown at that time. Oh, wait a minute. We still are under lockdown today. So my wife and I, we decided to do some shopping for food, for our food supplies, because we weren't sure how long the lockdown was going to be for. So we decided to go to SNR, which is like Costco or Price Club in the US. I don't know, is Price Club still around? I remember when I was in college and I wouldn't have any money, my cousins and I would go to Costco or Price Club and just try the samples. You know how they have those people like giving out free food samples, and we just kept coming back and we'd just keep eating the samples until we were full, and then we'd go home because we were pretty broke back then. Anyway, back to the topic. So we decided to go to SNR to do our bulk shopping, stock up on the supplies here at home, and my SNR card was expired. So we renewed it. I gave my card to the person in charge, and I gave my license to that same person so they could verify that it was me. Now, I'm not saying that my credit card got hacked at SNR, but I'm just saying that I have a gut feeling that it happened there because a similar thing happened to my mom also at an SNR, where she used her credit card and then later on that credit card was hacked. I'm not making any false claims here. I'm just saying that this is what happened to me. So after I gave my credit card to pay for the renewal fee of my SNR membership, the lady took maybe 10 to 15 minutes, and I was a bit suspicious why she was taking so long. But then again, I figured, hey, it's the pandemic, it's lockdown, so maybe the process just takes a bit longer. Still, 15 minutes is a bit long. But anyway, I didn't think anything of it. So afterwards, we did our shopping, paid again with the credit card, and then went home. Later that night, at 9:05 p.m., I get a text message from HSBC saying that my card was used at a quota shop for 5,000. So I immediately figured, wait, this isn't me. I'm not doing anything online. This isn't an online transaction because my card is with me. It's a fraudulent charge. So my first thought was my wife. Of course, she's gonna kill me for saying that. But sometimes she uses my card without telling me. So I ask her, "Is this you?" And she says, "No." And sometimes no means yes. No. So right after that, another text message comes in. So another 5,000, another $100. Now my card got charged what? $200, 10,000 pesos. So I immediately called HSBC and I let them know. I said, can you block my card because these charges are not mine. I'm not using my card. And they said, yeah, okay. And then they took my information. And while that was happening, I got two more text messages for another 5,000 and then 5,000. So now the total charges on my card are what? 20,000 pesos or $400. And this all happened like within 5 minutes as I was on the phone with the credit card company. So HSBC told me to write a claim, a fraudulent charges claim from their website, which I did, and I emailed it to them, and I just put all the details on what happened. So I figured, okay, that's taken care of because this has happened to me also before with some other credit cards like BPI and Citibank, and they were able to reverse the charges no problem. So I figured, okay, that's the end of that. It's done. So my statement comes around, and of course I looked at it and the fraudulent charges are there, of course. So I thought, oh, it's going to take maybe 2 or 3 cycles for them to reverse this. So I just kind of figured out I'll leave the 20,000 off from the balance, so I don't need to pay for it since I didn't charge it. So that's what I did. I just paid, the full amount less the fraudulent charges. And all this time, I still haven't received a decision from HSBC regarding my claim. So the second statement comes around, still the same. Fraudulent charges are still in there, but now they added a penalty, interest and finance charges since I didn't pay the full amount. So I'm thinking, wait a minute, why am I getting charged interest and finance charges for those fraudulent charges that I'm still trying to dispute? So I call them up again and they told me, oh, you can just pay it all off, including the fraudulent charges, and then once they make the decision that you're not liable, then you'll get a credit for it. So I'm like, okay, fine. So pay the full amount, including the fraudulent charges, and then the next statement comes in, it's still there. They haven't reversed it and there's still no decision. So I'm thinking, wow, this is taking too long. Finally, after 4 months, okay, of waiting, HSBC got back to me with their decision, basically telling me that I should pay for those fraudulent charges because those charges were valid. It took them more than 4 months. In fact, let me read their reply. So basically, they did an investigation, and their chargeback team completed the investigation, whoever these guys are, and they closed it in favor of the merchant, in favor of it's Cop the Shop. Sorry, I thought it was Code the Shop. Cop the Shop. But there are no cops there. They're just all criminals over there. Well, I don't know. I think the Cop the Shop is a legitimate vendor because I believe they do Legends, the mobile Legends. But whoever used my card, of course, is the criminal. And I guess Cop the Shop is just processing their transaction. So anyway, back to the letter. So upon their review, they figured that their record indicates that the disputed transactions were completed on a secured site. Prompt security questions that include personal information and the card verification value found on the back of the card, which can only be answered by the card holder. All right, so there's the problem right there. Now, if you guys remember, I told you that I went to SNR that day and I gave the person my credit card, physical card. They took it. So how easy can it be to just look at the number on the back for the CVV number? I think it's pretty easy, right? The other thing that they're saying is my personal information, which I'm thinking probably is my birthday. I gave my license, driver's license, to the person at SNR. So they could have easily looked at my birthday. It's right there. I'm not saying it happened in SNR. I'm just saying it could have happened there. I mean, there are establishments still that ask for your card and they don't bring out the credit card machine to you. They take your card, and sometimes they do ask for your license or your identification. So there's the access. Now, here's my problem with this investigation of theirs. First of all, my credit card, my HSB credit card, does not have a one-time password for online transaction, which clearly is insecure because my other cards, my BPI, my Citibank, all my other cards, BDO, they all have a one-time password. Every time I do an online transaction, I'm required to put in a one-time password, and usually it's texted to my phone. That's just another layer of security that HSBC didn't provide me. Okay, I think that's on them because that's their system, not mine. Second of all, I'm pretty sure you guys would agree that it's very easy to get details such as your birthday, okay, or even your mother's maiden name. Those are quite easy. If somebody really wanted to, they could find that out easily on social media, in your mail. If they just go through your mail, or somebody who works at a credit card company can easily look at that as well. Not really secure. Third of all, they could have just looked at my purchase history. They could have just looked at it and saw that I never did any transactions with Cop the Shop, or in fact for any online games, in-game, in-app purchases. I've never done. And fourth and lastly, they could also have checked the IP address. I don't know if they have a way to do that, but if they can check the IP address of whoever bought the game, Legends, whatever, from Cop the Shop, they would have seen the IP address, translated it into a physical address, and would have known that it's not my address. And actually, I want to add this. I've been a customer of theirs for so many years now. I've always paid my cards on time, in full, most of the time. Why would I do that? Why would I go through all the trouble just for 20,000? That's just stupid. I think the lifetime value of a customer is way more than just $400, don't you think? 20,000 pesos. for such a big company as them. So of course I was very upset, and like any middle-aged man who's very upset, I took to social media, Facebook in particular, and posted, ranted, got some good advice actually. Some people actually gave me some very sound advice, and these are some of the things that they told me. Was one of them was to actually write Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, which is like our Federal Reserve Bank, is it? So they have a consumer affairs section that deals with credit card fraud and all these things. I actually wrote to them. I also called up HSBC's customer service, and the person I talked to advised me to just not accept the decision and appeal it again, which I didn't think I could do. So that's exactly what I did, just to let him know that I was serious about this. This tito, this uncle, is not going down without a fight. Like always, it took them a while to reply. So to their credit, on October 15th, they did reply, and basically their reply was this, that they were putting it on hold, the dispute, which means that I didn't have to pay any more interest or any other penalties until they reopened. So it took, I think, another couple of months or a month, I can't even remember anymore, to give me a second decision, which was basically telling me that I was still liable for the charges since it was done in a secure site. The same BS reasons. Yeah, basically they were saying it was my fault and I had to pay for it. I don't know, I was thinking, hey, should I just accept this? Should I just accept? I mean, it's just 20,000 pesos. It's just $400, right? I mean, it's not going to kill me, but something just bugged me. It was like the old David and Goliath. Like, yeah, if they could do it to you, they're going to keep doing it to you and to other people. So I had that, yeah, I'm going to fight for the little guy. My friend suggested that I watch this Netflix show called Dirty Money. And it was episode 4 where it was about HSBC and how it was the cartel's bank. Now, this is all on Netflix. You guys can check it out. It's a documentary. Apparently, HSBC was involved in some scandal where the Mexican and Colombian drug cartels were laundering hundreds of millions of dollars through the U.S. financial system using, HSBC. So this got me inspired, and I thought, geez, I should still pursue this because these guys are bad. I mean, clearly these are bad guys. I don't mean to sound self-righteous, but I think I'm in the good side in this one. So I called HSBC again, and I told them, first of all, to cancel the card because I didn't want to have that card, because if it's not secure, who's to say that nobody's going to use it again for some fraudulent charges, and then I'll have to pay it again. And they wouldn't let me cancel the card because I still had a monthly installment on some appliance that I bought. And then I rewrote the letter on their final decision, telling them, hey, I still don't agree with this decision, how it's caused me a lot of stress waiting, not knowing what their decision was going to be. Also, I talked to a lawyer friend, 2 lawyer friends, and actually they told me that I could actually use that as part of my case. The fact that they took so long to reply to each of my requests, which causes you undue stress. So that's what I wrote. I told them, I was so stressed that I had to watch your Netflix episode to figure out that you guys are money launderers for the drug cartel. And, you guys should give me some of those drug money, because those are billions and billions. You should really watch that episode. If they still didn't give it back to me or credit back the money, what I was going to do was I was going to wait until the remaining balance that I had to pay off on the card for the monthly installment was around 20,000 pesos or $400, and then I wouldn't pay that and just leave it and then just let them chase me, right? Of course, there's still a little worry there because you're thinking, okay, they're still a big corporation, but they could still chase me, but then think, oh, for that amount, maybe they'll just write it off and give it to one of those collection agencies. And that's when they finally emailed me and told me that they were going to give me back the credit, but not for the reasons that I was fighting for, not for the reasons that I wanted. They still insisted that the charges were valid, and I'll read you their final email to me. The disputed charges to that Coda shop went through a secure payment, authenticated, blah, blah, blah. However, and this is where they kind of try to say sorry to me. Well, they didn't really say sorry, did they? Because we know that we had delays in updating you on the investigation and results, which caused you undue stress. Given this, we've exceptionally approved the reversal of the 20,000 pesos disputed transactions and the related charges incurred. What do you guys think? Was that a non-apology apology? I kind of think it is. But the good thing is they gave the credit back, and ever since then I haven't used that card. I'm just waiting for it to just expire. That's my story. What about you guys? Have you guys had any similar experience that you want to share? Let me know, comment below. Talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye bye.